What is a fence? Most people think of fences as barriers, but no one really thinks beyond this bland function. Walking along this path, one can observe a fence. This fence, like many others, is made of steel. It's characterized by its length and height, as well as the perpendicular poles that support its grandiose structure. The purpose of this particular fence is unknown to most, but to us, this does not matter. Let's take a look at the fence up close. When looking at just one section of the fence, one can imagine the different things that can be done if this section was cut out. What could it be used for? One option is a soda holder. The holes seem to be just big enough to fit several soda cans next to one another. An alternative use would be as a cooking grate for a grill. The metal lines are spaced out just enough to be able to grill some steak or chicken. A third use would be for a fishing net, because why get a regular net when you can have a steel net? Now, let's look at the shape. As one can see, it is a perfect square rotated 135 degrees to the left. One can see that the difference in light reflecting off different points of the metal define the fence. At night, one can imagine that the moonlight has the same effect, with a contrast that is much greater. All the fine, grainy textures can also be seen from up close. Most things aren't perfect, and this fence certainly is not, as one can tell from the varying spots of light and dark. But these spots are what make every wire of the fencing unique. But look at that excellent curve! It creates a perfect link that binds the metal wires of the fence together. So simple in form, yet it creates something much more complex. And yet, one cut to any of the wires would allow for a hole big enough for a person to get through. That is enough observing of the details. There is so much more to say about the hole. What else can be done with a fence? Well, one can use it as a bridge. The fence could be laid out flat across the river, with both ends anchored to the ground. It could also be positioned as it is now, making it more of a climbing bridge, and allowing for a nice workout in the process of climbing over. Here's one more idea, though a bit strange. Imagine you took the fence and multiplied it 100 or more times. You could then weave all these fences into a gigantic fence. This, of course, would cause several unnecessarily big holes, but those could be covered by more fencing. The fence would be completely useless, of course, unless it was in some parallel universe where giants were real. At least it would hold a few records, like tallest fence or most costly fencing. Maybe you could use it as a giant grapevine, solve world hunger that way. Yeah, there really isn't much to say about a gigantic fence, is there?